Hello, welcome to the Fuzzy Loaf podcast, where we talk about the happenings in geek stuff and pop culture. I am your host, Scott.
And I'm Matt.
I usually introduce you. I totally forgot. It's been kind of we
Yeah.
moved locations this week, so it's different setup. We're trying to figure it out. Lots of stuff. Obviously, Star Wars encompassed
Yes.
everything on the internet this week. Star Wars and Back to the Future, but
Oh man,
Back to the Future is old.
so
news.
many people were wearing like full Back to the Future outfits
That's
at school,
so cool.
and it was just like I was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Drinking their Pepsi Perfects, riding their hoverboards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang!
The future."
Did you see the Nike mags that they actually gave a pair to Michael J. Fox?
No, I did not
Nike
see it.
actually made the self-lacing shoes from the movie. They exist now in real life,
Yeah.
and they gave him a pair, and they're gonna auction off more, and the proceeds will go to Parkinson's research. Like that's super cool.
Yeah.
So just seeing him with those things was
Zoom.
totally rad. Like that's actually a really good thing for people with Parkinson's because obviously tying your shoe is got to be nearly impossible.
Yeah.
So to have it just go like that, that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Back to the Future is old news.
Yeah.
Let's get in. Let's just go right into Star Wars. Let's not leave people hanging because that's what
Yeah.
we know everyone wants to talk about. We're not going to do a trailer breakdown because every other podcast on the internet has broken down the trailer bit by bit. But we'll talk about. Do you want to talk about the ticket sales first and then talk about the trailer?
Yes, I was actually just gonna see if we could find,
It's 6.5 million for the U.S.
and that was just the
Just the-
first day or the first 2 days.
That's how much it's sold for the so far.
But that's what I mean is like when did this came out 4 days ago, so that was the day after the trailer release.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the highest amount of pre-sale tickets ever
Yeah.
by like 6 times, 8 times.
I
more.
can't even imagine. I don't. If you
This
didn't,
movie's gonna make so much goddamn money. It's not
and
even
if you
funny.
didn't buy the pre-sales, you probably are not seeing it the first weekend.
Around here, they have a lot of They have a lot of seats available
Okay.
still.
Yeah.
But I know, in like, especially if you lived in LA, you were
Mhm.
fucked
Yeah.
basically. I ordered a ticket for the premiere like I think Wednesday night.
Oh, okay.
actually.
So
I
there's
got
still
it. It was the last
some
seat
seats.
in the row.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not that bad. It is really bad in some places though, and it was funny because everybody was posting about it online, like can't buy ticket sites are down, all this stuff. Well, people were trying to use like Fandango and ticket services like that.
Fandango AMC was crashed too. Like
yeah,
everything.
but there's a lot of other theaters. Like if you have a Cinemark by you, Cinemark was still up. There's a lot of other like theater chains that their
Yeah.
website was working perfectly fine. It was just
Those are the ones I don't go to though.
Yeah.
I'm an AMC guy
well, and
through and through.
there's another smaller theater chain that's close to you, but otherwise, besides that, there's not
Yeah,
really
there's
many
that,
theater
that
chains.
Andover
Yeah.
place over here.
I don't remember who it's owned by, but there's not really any other theaters anywhere near us that aren't AMC.
Yeah, I was looking at Coon Rapids because I wanted to go there because they have the assigned seating.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I want to make sure I get a seat. I don't have to wait in line for 6 hours because I have to work that day.
Yeah.
And so, but I also looked at Maple Grove too, just to see what was going on. Maple Grove has like no show times for it of the premiere night. They have like 2. And I was like,
that
I was
seems
like,
really
this
strange.
seems really dumb because the Maple Grove theater is really nice and has a huge IMAX screen.
well, and they have I think more screens than the Coon Rapids.
Coon Rapids, I think, is playing on almost every screen. Coon
Yeah.
Rapids is 16. I think they're both 16.
Oh, okay. Is it?
Yeah.
It just feels like it's bigger. Maybe
It is. I think it is bigger overall.
Yeah, maybe more seating in every. Well, and it also helps that it doesn't have the recliner seating, so
Yeah.
there's way more seats in every theater.
Yeah. I saw Steve Jobs in the giant theater at Coon Rapids yesterday. There's nobody
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Everyone
it
was seeing The
happens.
Martian again.
Oh, I
but-
still need to see that.
You do. Steve Jobs was really good too. If you like Aaron Sorkin at all,
Yeah, I know a lot of people were.
it was great. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, this isn't the Steve Jobs show.
No, okay. So let's talk about impressions for the trailer then. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was awesome. I watched it at least 10 times now.
I don't know if I've watched it that many times because I don't want to I've been avoiding like the breakdowns and stuff like that because I don't want stuff to be spoiled for me. But I know that
It's like, see, it's fun hearing
90%
people's
of,
predictions because I like to compare their because it's all predictions.
yeah,
I like to hear
90% of it's gonna be wrong.
right. I'm curious to see what people think is gonna happen to what actually happens.
Yeah.
I have a couple predictions too. I don't know if you want me to share them later, but I thought it was really cool. As someone who I haven't been into Star Wars my whole life. I didn't grow up with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, that was when Episode 1 came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still very young. So I got into it through the action figures because I've always loved those when I was a kid. And I'm starting to get into Star Wars more and more now that I'm older.
Yeah.
So I don't have that like super appreciation, like super boner like a lot of older people do.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be an awesome movie. It looks beautiful too.
Yeah, like I always say, I like the Star Wars movies, but I'm not like a fanatic for them. Just like I think that I'm that way with most things. I like them enough that I'm gonna go see them, and like I enjoy the worlds and all this stuff. But when when the movies are bad, I'm not like, oh, this is the end of the world. My life is ending. These movies suck. It's like, oh well, the movie was bad.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of bad movies.
I love the Marvel movies, but Thor: The Dark World was awful.
Yeah,
I didn't even see it in theaters. I think I downloaded it, just watched it.
I think we did end up seeing it in theaters. It was whatever.
Yeah, it was weak.
Yeah.
But what was your favorite moment from the trailer? Do you have one? Favorite moments, plural?
God, there was a lot of small moments that I really liked. I like the moment where you see the Knights of Ren, or I'm assuming the Knights of Ren.
Oh, in the rain?
Yep, in the rain.
That was really that's a lot of people's favorite moment.
Yeah, because it shows you it's a group of people and they're all wearing slightly different armor. A lot of people are speculating that the guy on the far left was wearing Mandalorian armor.
I think it's all the same. Like it's all like different variations of Kylo Ren, kind of, because they are.
But there were pieces on the guy on the left that looked kind of like Boba Fett's armor, and I know everybody's like, it's Boba Fett, but I don't think it's gonna be that.
No.
If anything, it's just gonna be like kind of Mandalorian armor, you know, which that's like an entire race of people. So, oh well.
Yeah.
But I like that moment.
It looked very
a lot.
medieval, that scene too,
and it was just very menacing, and it kind of gave you the sinister feel that I hope the movie is gonna go for overall, or like at least when they're on screen. I also really liked seeing Rey explore the Star Destroyer.
That was cool.
I hope that is more than just like a minute scene. Like I hope we get to see more
that
of
seems,
the decay.
That seems like it's gonna be like the opening to the movie.
Yeah, that'd be a great spot. Or a lot of people are speculating that when the Knights of Ren land on that planet, and you see like he's just like slaughtering people, that's going to be the opening, and then it's going to be then the next scene after that is going to be Rey exploring the Star Destroyer on Jakku.
Could be. I think a lot of what we've seen so far in apparently what we've seen so far in any of the trailers is like the first third of the movie.
Yeah, and
like
that's understandable.
Which is because they want to keep it really under wraps, which I think is. I don't think I've ever seen a movie with so much secrecy behind it than Star Wars.
I think
we don't even know the plot yet.
I think it's fantastic. I wish other movies would do this because a lot of times trailers give away so much, and then it's kind of like, well, now I know all this stuff about the movie, and this did a really good job of just giving you enough, but you really don't know what's going on. Yeah, you have no idea.
I just think I don't. What was I gonna say? I got distracted by the fucking bass coming from the basement. I don't think a lot of movies can get away with it as much as Star Wars can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have. I don't know. I'm trying to think of not a super big like franchise or whatever. You couldn't have them get away with that because people will be like, "Well, what the fuck is this?" More than they'll be like, "Oh, that looks."
I think Marvel can start to get away with
Marvel
it now
could
they've proven themselves.
Right. Star Wars can obviously because they've got such a devoted fan base.
Yeah. The only thing with Star Wars is I think they did a good job of when they had the not trailer but like the behind the scenes where they showed like the practical effects and all that stuff. I think that was their way of like quelling any fans' fears because people were kind of scared that it was going to be just another set of prequels.
It all just depends on how JJ does because I mean I like JJ personally, but he's definitely a very hit or miss director. But I think with something like Star Wars, he could do
I think
very well.
Star Trek was great.
The first Star Trek I love. I actually don't even mind Into Darkness. Some people hate it a lot.
I love it, but I love it as a sci-fi movie, not necessarily a Star Trek movie.
It's not Wrath of Khan, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was fun.
And I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this. I think Star Trek is kind of boring. Like, the idea is fantastic and could be executed really well, but what normally happens is like 40 minutes of the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's because Star Trek originally started as a political commentary show.
Yeah.
Social commentary, I should
But, like,
say.
the idea of exploring the universe and, like, all this, like, that is really cool versus just, like, normal, just blowing shit up. Because I don't think every movie has to be that.
Well, yeah,
because every show has to be
that's
that.
what happened was with the new JJ Star Trek, it basically became an action sci-fi movie.
But that's perfect for Star Wars, because that's what Star Wars is.
Well, yeah, that's what people say. JJ basically made Star Trek into Star Wars. So, yeah. I'm curious to see what that'll be like. My favorite scene from the trailer is either the part where Finn is walking and Poe puts his hand on his shoulder and like turn around and give each other his look. Some people are drawing all these different conclusions from
'cause
this.
The VO says the dark side as you see Poe, and then it says and the Jedi
Finn.
when you see Finn, and then they both kind of look at each other and they have like worried.
I don't think Poe's going to be the dark side.
No,
part of the dark side. I think he's going to be like our Han Solo.
We know that he is getting tortured by Kylo Ren.
Right.
The image, there's like a superimposed image of a world being blown up by another.
He might have some kind of history with the dark side, or some of not him being a part of it, but like what they've done to him or whatever. But I think he's actually going to be a good guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a bad guy either.
No, I think that look is like let's do this.
And it might even be, he might not be a bad guy, but he might be put in a situation where he has to make a tough choice. Yeah. You know, like maybe he has to decide one person lives, one person dies, you know, and it's like, or both of them die.
From what I heard of him, he wants to be the hero. Yeah. And I've been reading Shattered Empire. I haven't finished it yet. It's only 4 issues. I've only read 2. But it's about his mom. Okay. And he's born already, but he's a young child. Because this Shattered Empire takes place 30 years before. It takes place right after Return of the Jedi. Okay. Literally, the first issue ends with the Battle of Endor. Okay. Or first issue begins with the Battle of Endor. So
I should read some of that stuff, because now that we have...
If you want, I've got the issues right here. You can borrow them.
That'd be dope. Because now that we have... There's also a book, I think it's called The Aftermath.
Yeah, I heard it's not very good.
But I want to read it just so I can... Because it's between...
I think I've heard that you should just read Shattered Empire. Okay. Or I've heard that the book Lost Stars is amazing. Okay. So, yeah. One of my other scenes that... there's a few scenes that I really like that really just like visually stunning.
Yeah, the whole thing very visually and audio wise just perfect.
Oh yeah, it's when you hear Kylo Ren talk, at first I was like, whoa, because you can definitely tell that's Adam Driver's voice, but modulated, and I think it's it's good because he's not all scarred up and he doesn't have the breathing mask. You know, he's just a dude.
But he's also a big worshiper of Vader. So who's to say that he doesn't have something in there to alter his voice?
Yeah, that's what it is, because it's altering his voice. I'm sure if he takes the mask off, he'll sound like Adam Driver.
We also got, I think she only said one line, but we got Maz Kanata, young.
I think that was the beginning. Her asking, "Who are you?"
Yeah. I can't Nyang Long.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah. I was like, I can't remember the last name. I will be very interested to see what her character looks like on screen. Yeah. I have a feeling that it's going to be kind of like a Yoda-esque.
She's supposed to be a pirate.
Mm-hmm. People are speculating that the temple or whatever you want to call it that had all the flags out front, that's where she is.
Also, people have pointed out that apparently you can see in the trailer too, Phasma and some of her lackeys burn that bitch to the ground.
Yeah. And who knows?
Really cool. The hype is so strong for this movie.
It looks like it's going to be great, and I'm trying so hard not to get hyped.
It's just 2 months.
Yeah, just trying hard to be like, yeah, it'll be good.
I'm already seeing it twice.
Yeah, I still got to buy tickets.
Got people to see it with. I was just going to see it Saturday. My friend's just like, we got one seat left in our row. You can get it if you want and see it with us at 11:45 on the night it comes out. I'm like, if I leave work early, I can make it.
Yeah.
So I did, but I have to see with my other friend on Saturday, which I'm not complaining about at all because damn right I'm going to see that movie
Yeah,
again.
I'm probably going to end up seeing it that Friday because I can't do the midnight release. I have class really early on Fridays, and I can't miss it. So,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the upside to working nights is I can stay up. I could see it at 2 a.m. and it wouldn't even be a problem for me.
Yeah.
Which I thought about doing. Actually, it's like, I can just go after work because I could be like, oh, I could see it at 1. I'd get home around like 3:30. It's about the time I go to bed. That's fine.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with Star Wars?
Do you want to talk about any predictions at all? Do you have any?
Not any solid, I'm trying to keep any of that stuff down.
Do you want to hear mine?
Sure. Yeah.
My number 1, I think Rey is actually Luke's daughter.
Not
Han Leia's, but I think Kylo Ren is Han and Leia's son.
Okay.
So I think they're cousins. Some people
Do
think
we
they might be
know-
brother and sister. I think they might be cousins.
Because we had, in an extended novel, they had twins, but that has since been cut,
Yes,
right?
that is no longer canon.
So it could be that. Yeah, it could be that way. I think for sure Kylo Ren is related to Rey in some fashion.
Yeah.
What do you? Not really or kind of speculation, but it's more of a question for me. Do you think that? Because a lot of people are saying that Finn isn't really a Jedi; that it's just like.
I think he is. I think he is Force sensitive because it's called The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
My thing is, I kind of compared it to. I know you haven't watched Legend of Korra, have you?
I watched the first
But you haven't watched
two
all of it.
seasons. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in season 3, basically after Korra has like reopened the gates to the spirit world and the, I guess, Earth, airbenders, which were thought to be basically extinct, there were only like 4 left, start popping up. People start developing airbending powers. And by Force Awakens, I kind of think it's something along that lines where there's been a resurgence in the, like have you felt it? Like from the very first trailer. I think there's been kind of a resurgence in the Force, and Finn realizes that he's Force sensitive and he's following the path of.
Do you think that's
Jedi.
where Luke has been off too? Is like somehow.
Well, he's in a temple. I know that much for sure.
Yeah, but do you think that's what he's been trying to do? Is like reawaken the Force, or do you think that's something that he caused by accident?
It could either that or it was just the universe, and he's just witnessing it. He's just there. He's there to deal with the aftermath of this awakening.
Mm-hmm.
That's my speculation. I could be 1,000,000% wrong.
Yeah, there was a. I'm not gonna remember the name of the games, but there was 2 games with the same set of characters, and in the first game, you play. He's kind of like a Han Solo type, and then in the second game, there's like this event that happens that causes power to like the Force to.
Is that Force Unleashed?
No, it's not the Force Unleashed. It came out a long time ago.
Oh,
This was like around episode 1 and 2 coming out, I think.
Oh, okay.
But this was post 6.
Oh, so it was it was a Legends thing.
Yeah, and but it was really cool because you had run-ins with Luke, like an older Luke, and it was like like a bunch of people are starting to get the Force is starting to awaken in them, and then there was him.
Maybe they're taking that
Yeah.
out of that. That could be. My other prediction, which my friend called me an asshole for, is I think Chewie's not making it through this movie.
So there's a few things. There's that you see Rey over a body crying.
It looks pretty furry.
That's what people keep saying. It looks like it has some sort of brown either coat or.
And then you see it's like
satchel.
he's got the bandolier thing.
Yeah. So people are thinking it's either Finn, Han, or Chewie.
My guess is Chewie. You wouldn't kill Finn in the first movie.
They would be dumb to kill Finn in the first movie.
I thought Han might die, but I think Chewie makes more sense right now, especially since Peter Mayhew is not in the best of health anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It would kind of make sense. I mean, everyone. God, you can't kill Chewie. He's
He's
the family dog.
You can't kill any of them.
I mean,
that's the problem. Is they've put themselves in this position where they're gonna piss off a lot of people no matter who they kill, but they have to.
They have to.
And they should probably kill off all of the older cast. No offense, Not necessarily in this movie, but definitely within the next movie or two, because
it makes sense as long as their death is earned.
because they've been in so much of this lore so far, but it's like you have to pass on the baton. Like
Right.
people are gonna
These
be
guys can't play these roles forever either.
yeah.
I mean, they're like, you know.
Do you think Rey is gonna be force sensitive, or do you think she's
I think she will be too.
okay? Because that was
She doesn't have a lightsaber, but I think they don't want to show that because I think that might be
I think
down the line.
so. My only real speculation is that the scene that you see on this the snow planet, where Finn pops open the lightsaber, and then you see Kylo Ren without his helmet on, and then he comes at him. I think Finn is gonna get the shit kicked out of him.
He's gotta
And I think she's gonna pick up the lightsaber and fucking
annihilate him.
Yeah, own Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
That
I love like look at the poster there, the parallel between her Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
That's why I think they're tied somehow.
They're a yin and a yang.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, the hype for this movie. I hope she gets her own lightsaber and it's green, because the green lightsaber is my favorite lightsaber of the ones that you see on TV.
My favorite's Mace Windu's purple lightsaber.
My real favorite is yellow, but
Ah.
nobody uses yellow on any of the anything. It's a real color that you can have for a lightsaber. But I like green. I'm sick of because it's really a weird thing for me. But I'm sick of blue lightsabers because everyone has a blue lightsaber.
Well, red and blue, man. I don't know.
But
somehow that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, back to my original point. I don't think Chewie's making it on the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know any other predictions really. Maybe that snow planet that we see a lot of fighting taking place on, like we see a lot of TIE fighters and X-wings. I think that's the new Death Star.
I think the Starkiller base is stationed on the snow planet.
Yeah, same with me. That was because there's like you see some big rifts in the planet, like giant rifts, just like entirely through the planet, and then you see there's like the big bases that kind of look like the scene where you see the gun firing off.
Maybe the Starkiller base draws its energy from the planet itself.
Could be.
Yeah. Why else would you build it on like a frozen planet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about real quick, because we talked about it a little bit before we started filming or recording, not filming. That this I don't even want to call it a theory. This crazy notion that Kylo Ren is actually Luke Skywalker.
Oh God, yeah.
Which I think that's just made by these people that are just really uninformed about the movie.
I think it's people that want some crazy twist.
Because
I don't necessarily think that it's people that are uninformed. I just think it's people that it's like they want this crazy thing that's not going to happen within the Star Wars universe.
It doesn't make any fucking sense at all, because we know for a fact it's played by Adam Driver. We've seen him without his mask. You know, we've even seen like leaked photos of Luke in the white robe with the beard and everything. Like, clearly,
the only way that I could see this making any sense, and it wouldn't really make sense because they don't look anything alike, is if Kylo Ren is somehow a clone of Luke Skywalker.
People said that
younger,
too, which doesn't
but
make
no,
sense.
it doesn't make sense to me. But that's the only way that this could be even remotely true.
I think the closest thing to that is that Kylo Ren was a pupil of Luke's.
Could be.
And turned down the dark side.
Yeah.
You know, after learning more about